What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to Picking a Fight. I'm Latch, and today we're going to be looking at UFC 279 Chimaev versus Diaz. We're going to be looking at the bantamweight bout between Irene Aldana and Macy Chiasson. But before we get started, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We're putting out videos for almost every fight night and pay-per-view. So if you're looking for content like this, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out. And yeah, let's get right into it. So we got number 4 ranked Irene Aldana. She is 13-6. She is 34 years old. She's 5'9" with a 68.5-inch reach. She's coming off a TKO win over Yana Kunitskaya. She is going against Macy Chiasson, who's ranked number 10. She's 8-2. She is 31 years old. She's 5'11" with a 72-inch reach, and she's coming off a loss over Norma Dumont. And yeah, this is Macy Chiasson's return to 135. Her last bouts have been at 145, but she's dropping down to 135. And Irene Aldana, she usually fights at 135, but she did miss weight in her last fight against Yana Kunitskaya. It is the first time she's ever missed weight in the UFC. Aldana's a minus 170 favorite, while Chiasson's a plus 145 underdog. Yeah, I mean, there's pretty different, but pretty similar. You know, both are pretty good strikers. Obviously, Irene Aldana's a more traditional boxer. She has pretty good boxing. I think she has the power advantage in her hands. You know, she throws good, clean punches with very good technique. And one thing that's very similar between both girls is they use a lot of movement. You know, Irene Aldana uses her movement to change angles and create angles for herself and her punches. I think her boxing stance will leave her leg exposed like it usually does, and I think Macy Chiasson will start to eat it out. You know, she's Aldana doesn't tend to throw as many kicks as her opponents, but Chiasson does, so she'll probably be there to chop her down. She has a high guard defense, you know, and she has pretty decent head movement, but she does get hit pretty often, to be honest, regardless of her defense. And I think a big knock to her is that sometimes she's too patient. You know, obviously in the Holly Holm fight, which was her biggest opportunity to date, she was a little too patient and never fully committed to the striking, and it ended up kind of costing her that fight, as Holly Holm was able to basically strike and move all night long. Macy Chiasson, she's a much greener fighter. Obviously, this is only her 11th fight. She's only had 10 fights, and they've all been at a pretty high level, though. You know, she basically started her career at The Ultimate Fighter, and from there, she's stuck in the UFC and been fighting basically the best of the best. She will be the taller fighter, standing at 5'11". She's pretty big for the division. She does try to use her length pretty well. She will have a reach advantage in this fight, and she tries to fight very long behind her jab and her movement. I feel like she's just not crisp with it yet. That might just be the inexperience. That she tries to fight at distance, but at times she gets clipped and she does get caught when the pressure starts coming. I think that's because she doesn't really have the power to back her fighters up, back her opponents up, I mean. And yeah, she's starting to mix in the grappling. In her last fight against Norma Dumont, she did try it, and Norma Dumont was able to you know, kind of hold her ground, and ended up causing Chiasson to get really tired, which kind of shows that how inexperienced she is with the grappling. You know, that it's still new to her. Her body's not accustomed to, you know, grappling at, you know, at this level, especially as a pro fight. So she's still very green, like I said. But I think Macy Chiasson's ability to kind of mix it all up with the striking, I think Aldana is the better striker, and she'll probably get the best punches in. But I think Chiasson will kind of hold her own, get her jabs in. But I think in the end, it'll be her ability to kind of mix everything up. I think Chiasson will be able to take Aldana down, kind of grind it out. Obviously, they booed her in her last fight against Norma Dumont when she started took her to the ground, because she kind of had no output there. She was kind of focused on control, and even that she really couldn't get. I think this one is a really, really close one. I can see Chiasson winning if she can get this takedown, but we've seen Aldana improve her takedown defense, and obviously she has the better power, and I think she has the better striking. The only thing is sometimes she's too patient. So, I mean, that's the biggest question, I think. I'm going to have to go with Macy Chiasson by decision. I think this is probably the closest fight on the card. Both girls are pretty tough, so it'll be an interesting fight to see. But let me know down below what you think. Do you think Irene Aldana's boxing and power is enough to take Macy Chiasson out, or do you think Chiasson will kind of do what she has to do to win this like I do? Let me know down below who you got and why. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, check out our other videos. We're actually doing every other video on this same card, so check those out. And yeah, it's going to be a great night of fights. We'll see you next week for Sandhagen versus Song. And yeah, we'll see you then.